let's talk about karmic curses and how to release them. Now that you've kind of figured out which karmic curses you may be dealing with, it's really important to understand the direction or where they came from. So a lot of times it may be because your family member was a part of something, was part of a family that did something, or did something on their own, and that karmic curse has to be released. Now, one of the things is really think about like how that same energy keeps running throughout your family or throughout your lineage over and over and over again. So this is a really important one that I think a lot of people overlook because they're kind of thinking a lot more about like this global thing instead of like, if you really think about it, you know, my dad never found love. His dad never found love. His grandfather never really found love. They had families, but they would leave that family and be in search of love again. So it's like, interesting. So now you get to kind of start looking for, how am I relating to that same thing? Have I still been looking for love or haven't been able to settle down? Or have I settled down but still always have a wandering eye of who else could I have a relationship with? That's where you've got to start to understand like, and there are a lot of these that are going around. Sometimes it's businesses. It's one of those, I had a client not too long ago that she had started her own business and she was always like, almost like fighting over every penny, every nickel, every dime in that business. But her dad had a business and he was doing the same thing. And then her grandfather had a business and was doing the same thing. So you're kind of like, now these are businesses that could have or should have really brought in a lot of money to the family. It was $1 million idea. They did with it really well. And so it's kind of one of those like, this is really interesting that this did not make a lot of money, or they were always fighting the debt collectors or whatever else. Like they're always like a couple of dollars over the debt collector of what they needed to collect. And this is where this can be a really interesting one. Like once you start getting those toxic connections, that really makes you understand like where the karmic ties are and what do I need to release, because releasing fear is one thing, but releasing struggles is a different, or releasing karmic debt will literally where it's a debt, a money value. It could also be kind of like really bringing in some amazing energy of what do you need to let go of. So once you identify it, then that kind of really helps you. And literally writing about it, like the first time you heard about it, writing about like the struggles that you saw your family go through because of it, and start thinking about like those energetic cords. So you want to get in a very meditative, this is a great one to kind of like connect into that meditation and literally start cutting those energetic karmic cords that you have to release. If you don't start releasing them now, it will continue to hurt your family for years to come from. One of the things that I always do when I'm going to be cutting cords in this manner, I am going to have candles lit. I'm going to have my incense going or my sage going, and then I'm going to be having a lot of amazing energy. I'm going to have a lot of quartz crystals around me to remove negative energy. I'm also going to be really bringing in some like black obsidian, maybe a smoky quartz I might be wearing to kind of release and let go of that stale, stuck energy so I can start cutting all of those cords. Now, one of the things that you want to do is you want to go back as far as you can in meditation, as far back in energy as you possibly can, and start releasing that person's fear, anxiety, lack, whatever it is, kind of like whatever they were wanting in that life, like literally start blessing with them over and over again. If you have an image or a picture of them, or if you draw one, you can start putting money in front of them. I often say coins are probably the best. Having coins stacked in front of them, and every time you think about them, put another coin on the pile of like, I'm gifting you the money or the debt that you thought you deserved. And then you're going to start keep releasing that energy over and over again. One of the other things that you could do is literally say often like, I forgive you and I release you and I set you free. And you want to start that from as far back as you can, even if you don't know it, like great grandpa, I forgive you, I release you, and I set you free. And then you're going to keep working your way down the lineage until you get to you. And you're going to say, I forgive you, I release you, and I set you free. This is going to be amazingly healing, not only for you, but for so many aspects of your family, and releasing that karmic thing. Now, if you have some old past contracts in your life now, or ones that you have felt from past lives, this is one that you need to rewrite that spiritual contract. That is something that you're going to have to do with your spirit guide, and you're going to have to call in at least 1 to 2 archangels to help you to rewrite this and literally visualize that tearing up of that old contract, and literally think about like how you would want that contract to be written, and you want to keep it in balance. Remember, it's a balance issue. It's not just like I win and you lose because before you won and I lost. No. We need to keep it in balance so that it stays exactly the way it was. If I promised you this, I gave you this, and you gave this back in return. So it's a completely balanced issue, and you want to always close all of these with an amazing gratitude. Like, I thank you for participating. I thank you for helping clear up some energy with me. I am thankful that you allowed me to clear this up. I thank my angels and guides for being with me while I'm clearing this up, and keep going. Don't let it go until you completely feel like, released. After that, you want to do a salt tub to release anything else and get a good night's sleep, because I guarantee you tomorrow morning you wake up feeling completely different.